Hey everyone, welcome back. So parts are starting to slowly trickle in for the CJ-7 again. I've got all the hoses I need to do the coolant, upper lower radiator hose, heater hose, and the fuel lines. I got that all sitting and waiting, but today I want to get these broken, damaged, old, not functioning trim pots in my old Holly projection fuel controller unit. I want to get those replaced. Now I went online to DigiKey's forum, I took it apart, I got all the dimensions and pictures and went online to DigiKey's forum, told them what I needed, they found them for me. I'm going to take this back apart and get the board out. I got my soldering station here, it's got a hot air gun, I'll probably hot air the old ones off. I've got a couple different ways to clean up excess solder. I've got the suction type desoldering tool, I got some desoldering braid, I got flux and solder. I think I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. Okay, well that's kind of a bummer. They're all mounted, everything's down. I got my hot glue in protecting that trace. It's on there good, they're all solid, they're all soldered nice, but unfortunately, and I didn't notice it, and you can blame that on me I guess, but I got the kind that take the stock over here and the kind that do not over here. The old kind, these two are like the old kind, and they have that D-shaped hole that stock pops into, but these don't have that. So I'm going to have to... Okay, so there it is. It's all done. I'm a little bit less than satisfied because I really wanted these all to be this type that I could put these stalks in, and these are wrong. And you know, it's on me. I'm the general contractor here. It's on me to make sure everything works. I'd like to be pissed off at DigiKey for picking out the wrong ones, but you know, I had multiple opportunities to notice that it was wrong, and I just didn't. So it's on me. It's my screw up. Idle will be easy to adjust with a screwdriver. Mid-range and power, you got to do it while you're driving it. So that's going to make it a little bit tough, but you know what? We'll figure it out and we'll keep moving on. Anyway, so I came in today to do a little bit of flush and coolant flush and replace the heater hoses, and I found this. So I'm thinking I probably ought to clean that out. In fact, I'm thinking I probably ought to pull that water neck and see how badly corroded it is and possibly replace it. Alright, so that cleaned up far better than I thought it was going to. Used a wire wheel and just scraped it clean first, then a wire wheel on it, and then just some soap and water. I think what I'm going to do is put it in a gallon bag with some of my favorite purple degreaser and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and maybe I'll put that thermostat in it. The parts are in the bag, as well as some tools that I got all crusty cleaning this thing up, and some nuts and bolts and a few other things I had floating around that are all filthy. I've got the time set for 30 minutes. It says, so here are the pieces out of their last bath, nicely rinsed up. I am really happy with the way this water neck turned out. That'll save me a few bucks, because that is completely good for me. I'm going to run another flush through it, or, you know, a real power flush through it. Okay, it is Friday now, about 1:30, Friday the 11th. I have had a boatload of customer work this week, which is kind of a double-edged sword. It's great in the fact that my stress level is low because I'm getting the bills paid without pulling money out of savings to do it, and I've got money to buy stuff, you know, parts and tools I need. That's great, I love it, but then again it's stressful because then I try and come out here late at night or when I'm tired and I don't clean up. So I had to take a couple of days break from this and just clean everything up, clean my tools up, get them organized, put away, get the floors and everything cleaned up, but I'm back. I've got the heater hose, upper and lower radiator hose done, thermostat housings all cleaned up and back on, of course. I've got new fuel line in, fuel filter, got new fuel line all the way across, new fuel line back at the pump with a big Wix filter in it. I just have one of those little filters up here, but I just swapped it in so I could kind of get a visual look at the gasoline without having to crawl under the bloody thing or crack a line open. So now I'm going to do a radiator flush, and okay, so it's fired up and running again with the coolant full. There go the cooling fans. I've got the Ford Contour fans in it with a Flexolite fan controller. And it's about an 80 degree day here today in Arizona. So fans are turning on and off very intermittently, not really hot enough to require much with that big aluminum radiator in it. And just gonna let it run for another, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Okay, running a little better now. I found a couple vacuum leaks, and some of that bad gas that was in the lines has worked its way through. Fans are still just intermittently coming on and off. Temperatures staying perfect. Still not seeing any leaks. But it's running better, but it could be even better yet. But again, also remember that my projection box is set to right in the middle. Sounds pretty good, really. Sunday morning around, oh, it's almost noon, geez, 11:45. So, had to run some errands and had some other things to do this morning, so I'm a little late getting out here. But it's a nice day, probably, I don't know, probably 70 degrees, 75 degrees. Maybe not 75. Nonetheless, it's nice and sunny. Got some things I want to do today. I want to get the super coolant with the water pump lube and the anti-corrosion in it. I want to get it refilled with antifreeze. I want to get the vacuum hoses run, and I got some ATF, which we're going to call power steering fluid today. I've got the radiator drained after flushing it. Came out really clean. I'm super happy. I have my wiring and 95% happy. Got a little work here. This green coil wire is in sad shape. I've got to track that down out of the loom back to where it's good and splice a piece in there. Vacuum lines, I got to do something with all the vacuum lines. I'm not 100% sure what yet, but got to do something with them. I did buy some 1/4-inch vacuum lines, so some of that will get done. And it's breezy out this morning, so I apologize for any wind noise. And I want to get that holly box mounted to the floor. And I'm thinking about, before I had just had some 3M double-sided, cushion tape, and that held it down really well. But I think I'd like to have something a little bit more removable than that if I need it. So I'm thinking about just putting some magnets on the 4 feet and just letting the magnets hold it down to the sheet metal floor. Anyway, going to get cracking on this. So let's get at it. So I took some of those Harbor Freight rectangular magnets. I was going to use 4 of them, but I could only find 3, so I cut 2 of them in half and hot glued them to the bottom. Let's see how that works. Let's put it in and try it. All it really needs to do is keep it from sliding around. Oh yeah, I think that'll work. Let's, there we go. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I think that's going to work. Kind of teetering a bit. Might need to find a slightly better. There we go. That's a good spot. Okay, I think that was a simple solution that's working. I like that. There it is, held down with those magnets, and that seems. I mean, like I say, all it needs to do is keep it from sliding around. So I'm going to go with that for now. So I think that's going to be about it for this time. I've got the coolant flush done. I've got the new coolant in. The water wetter stuff, the water pump lubricant. I've goofed up these wire over here at the coil so many times I ran out of connectors. They're still not right. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, other than I'm an idiot, which is, certainly possible. I've got the vacuum lines all back on, at least as well as possible, for a vehicle that's missing half its original emissions equipment and doesn't have the carburetor on it. It has a fuel injection on it instead. It's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it's still not running particularly good, but it's got old gas in it, and I think before I go any further, I'm going to have to get fresh gas in it. I'm going to have to do a basic tune-up on it. I'm going to get those coil wires straightened out. I mean, it runs and it idles okay, but as soon as you try to give it any gas, it bogs right down. So before I start blaming, anything weird on it, like the fuel injection and my job putting those resistors in, and certainly, I mean, it could be that, I think it's time just to get some good gas in it and do a tune-up. So that's it for now. Hope you guys had fun at my screw-ups. I didn't, but I hope you guys did. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.